Good evening, everyone. How is your day? I hope you're all fine, safe, and taken care of at home. And I'm especially sure that you're all COVID free. And yep, everything okay? All right. Sorry, just a little bit technical issue. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, very good evening to all of you. Thank you for your time for coming in for tonight's wonderful sharing by myself and together with CID Realtors. We are live here, all right, with Big Valley Media. Today, we are going to discuss a fantastic topic about investing in the commercial properties during this pandemic period. I know all of us are stuck at home. Your biggest thought is how to invest in commercial during pandemic period. Now, today we're going to discuss this and we're going to give you live right to your brains on how you're going to educate yourself in this fantastic pandemic market to invest in commercial properties. Okay, pandemic is not good for us, but commercial properties are at the lowest peak now, which is not in a good price and not healthy. But therefore, opportunity arises during now, especially when the whole world is looking at other investments. I think the stock market is also one of the place, but there's also ups and downs. But however, commercial market is one of the markets that now has the lowest in terms of price when it comes to investment. All right. So thank you again for joining us tonight. Let's begin by sharing my little bit background. As you all know, first of all, you are new today. You first time seeing my face. Hello, my name is LT. Okay, I'm also known as Lau Tong. Everyone know me as LTY because they do not pronounce my name. Easier to be pronounced as LT. Okay, stands for two names. Lau Tong. I didn't come from China. I'm Malaysian born, but however, my names were special given just Lau and Tong. All right. I have 16 years of experience in the real estate industry since 2004. I've been in the market for many years, again, since a young boy. And now I'm also a licensed real estate agent with the number E2733. If you can find out and check it out in our board's website, lppah.gov.my. And also to introduce myself as the managing director and one of the co-founders of CID Realtors Sdn Bhd, a real estate firm that's situated in Jalan Tun Razak, where Track is next to Zoo Club. All right. We are there not because we like to drink, but because it's a prominent landmark. As you go towards into KLCC, when you go over the Bulatan Pandan, across it on the Jalan Tun Razak, you look to your right, you see Zouk, you also see us next to Zouk. We are just situated in a very fantastic, prominent landmark in the KL City Heart Center. Now, I'm also a trainer and speaker and also a coach to many negotiators and real estate practitioners in the market in our company. The reason why I love to train is because I don't mind doing the sharing economy period with time, which I like to share my knowledges to most of them. And of course, with my vast background in doing project consultancy for industrial and commercial projects, okay, as well as a realtor handling corporate industrial deals. Okay, I do industrial commercial deals as well, and also a corporate real estate agent who advises to some of the companies for expansion and downsizing, liquidation, so and so forth. All right. These are my backgrounds in the real estate market, and I'm glad to say that, of course, with all the 3 years of experience since 2018, CID has been open. We are now glad to let you know that we have 10 offices nationwide and coming to grow more over to East Malaysia and also West Malaysia, other states. We have offices in KL, which is our HQ, Sunway, Klang, Imbi, Johor Bahru, Penang, Bukit Jalil, Setia Alam, Ipoh, Kota Damansara. So these are our branches, and you can reach any of our real estate professionals at any of our offices right here. All right. Now, let's go into topic today. We are going to discuss something extreme. Okay, last week we spoke about residential properties. I think residential properties was quite a hit because some of the people who wants to know how to invest in residential properties. However, remember at the end of the talk, I'm not going to sell you anything. You keep your wallets and your credit cards. We are not going to sell you anything. We are just going to educate the market, build your minds to be prepared on how to invest in the real estate market, especially in Malaysia. Okay, in Malaysia, before you go to Asia and also the rest of the world. Now, commercial sector is a very delicate sector, to be honest with you. It is something not easy to invest, neither nor is it hard to be looked at as an investment. All right. A commercial property is basically a place of business, okay, where business operates for business operations and all the commercialized activities that all of us need in our daily lives. When you go to work, you're basically going to a commercial area to work. You're going to a commercial activity driven area to be doing your work, like such as offices or retailers and whatsoever. Okay, so before I go in depth into what commercial is, we need to know what type of commercial properties there are in Malaysia that is for us to invest. Now in Malaysia, we have the single story, 2 story, 3 story, 4 stories, and also multiple stories up to 5, 6 corner lot stories of shop offices. This is the properties that was built since the late 90s, okay, late 80s, where the market was a boom. Many developers started building double stories and multiple stories of properties for you to invest. I'll give you an example of a double story. You can come to look at Subang Jaya, or even you go to Ampang, there's plenty of it. You even go to PJ, you can see 3, 4 stories, places like SS2, which today you can see is so vibrant. But let's look back 45, 50 years ago when SS2 was just started to build. Was it vibrant then? Back then? Definitely not. It was just a new township. Like any other township, you go outside of the suburban areas of Malaysia, of Kuala Lumpur. So we also see new townships coming up. That was also what happened in SS2 back then. Now, you also get properties such as shop apartments. Now, shop apartments are properties that last during the 70s and 80s. If you go to Pudu, you can see there's a lot of shop apartments. Downstairs is a shop, upstairs are apartments. All right, those kind of property are built in order to build population around the Kuala Lumpur city center back then. And you can see these kind of products as well in Ampang, in Cheras, and also in Subang Jaya, okay, and various areas who have shop apartments for your convenience to invest. Now, apartments upstairs can consist of 2 to 3 to 4, 5 units in one particular block of shop, just right above the shop. Now, these kind of investments are normally back then, in order to build population, they want to have more owners to go to the place to live. That's why those properties are sold much cheaper back then in order to build the population. All right. Today we have all those Rumah PP on M, Brim, and the Rumah PPIM and also Rumah Selangor to build multiple low and medium cost properties as well. Now, shop apartments are also considered commercial property because on the land itself, the shop is actually situated on a commercial land, okay, to get a commercial title. And of course, you get retails, shopping mall retails. Okay, what kind of retail? If you go to a service apartment, you go to a big large condo, you can see some retails at the bottom serve the people who are living in the condo itself, such as the saloon, convenience store. Okay, and you get a 7-Eleven and all these kind of things that's right below the particular condominium or service apartment. That's what we call retail. Another type of retail that we talk about is shopping mall retails, where you go into like Berjaya, Times Square, Sungai Wang, okay, Summit, USJ, Shamelin Mall. These kind of properties are all considered shopping mall retails. Okay, they are supposed to be for walk-in customers during the shopping period, and you have supposed to have vibrant commercial activity inside the shopping malls. So these are called the retails inside the shopping mall. And of course, we have the offices. Offices is one of the most common properties of commercial ones that allows people to go to an office to work. It's a workplace, all right? And also you get business suites and virtual offices today as a new type of product in the market. And also you get Soho, Sovo. Now, what is this Soho? Small office, home office, small office, furnished office, small office, virtual office. These are the new products that is situated on a commercial piece of land built in order for you to serve as a home and also an office space. Okay, some people do live in the office. That's why they have the mezzanine story for people to live on top and they have their office downstairs. And of course, you see commercial land. Okay, commercial land everywhere over KL and also outskirts. Commercial land can derive of petrol station land. Okay, can derive of also showrooms like the one in the bottom. All these are built on commercial properties as well, commercial land. And you have commercial buildings, corporate towers, which you see in KL and PJ. There's a lot of high buildings like all the Menara, all the Bangunans. These are all the commercial property that's built on commercial land, and those are the bigger, larger deals as well. And of course, part of the commercial buildings are also hotels. Hotels is also part of commercial buildings, where either some of it will convert the commercial building to become a hotel, or also to convert the hotel to become a corporate office tower. Many types of property like that. And of course, one of the most important factor today we will discuss is the low-cost shops, low-cost retail. Why am I going to talk about low-cost? I believe not only the market wants to discuss on high-end real estate, high-end commercial property, but we also want to discuss whether what opportunity derives for you to invest in low-cost shops, okay, low-cost retails that is in line for you to invest. Now, those are the properties that most of people don't talk about, but I'm going to talk about a little bit of it to share what we have for you tonight. Okay, now what are the benefits of investing in commercial properties? Commercial properties, if we discuss this in comparison with residential properties, commercial has a much more higher return on investment, right? It has a very high, I would say it's much more higher risk than residential properties, because residential is more stable, but commercial properties, you can burn your hands quite easily, all right? If you look at commercial properties, it has a much higher risk in terms of capital outlay as well, but of course, your returns are much higher if you invest correctly. Now, you also deal with people who are business minded. In the commercial sector, you will not only deal with the tenants that is looking to rent the place. If it's a shop apartment, just rent the place for stay. But normally, if you rent out a commercial property, it's always talking to people who are business minded, because there are definitely tenants going to be living there. No, sorry, living there to do business. Okay, to rent out to get people to come and sell their products or their services. So that is what in line when you deal with tenants who are business minded. In this section, you don't have so much headache in terms of, let's say, let's go down the rapid reparation works. The last one, able to negotiate. Some tenants in the residential sector, if you're going to have a toilet stuck, or you have some leaking in the property itself, normally the tenant will ask the landlord to get the people to come and fix it. Now, in commercial properties, okay, somehow or rather, it's easier to negotiate sometimes with some of the tenants. They themselves, instead of waiting for the owners to do the reparation work, they will get their own contractors or subcontractors to come and fix it. So in terms, they sometimes give you the time, give you the less your headache to come and get you to repair the works. Rather, they will ask their own people to come and fix it. And normally, sometimes if it's small work, they don't even disturb the landlord to ask them to pay for the reparation work. There are some which are like that. So it depends on whether you get a good tenant. And of course, in the commercial sector, you're able to get extensive yield. Suddenly, you realize your property. Give you an example. If you invest in Subang Jaya USJ back in the middle 90s, where USJ 10 Taipan was just built. Okay, if you look at USJ 10 Taipan, uh, when the property was built, it was sold only about 600,000-700,000 for one shop lot. And those days, if you look at those shops, I've cycled there before, and you see more stray dogs than more humans walking in the commercial area. But go to Taipan today, what happens? The shop lots that's worth 600,000-700,000 when it was launched today is easily worth 4 million to 5 million per lot. Now, you may, over the past 20 over years, you can see a substantial growth or high yield rental returns as well. From those days, the ground floor probably only cost you about 2,000, 2,002 per lot. And today it has patched up to more than 10,000 ringgit per lot. Of course, now pandemic, price dropped a bit. But I'm going to explain to you how commercial can bring such strong yield. If you look at what you have bought back those days with a house which cost you about 150,000, 130,000 in USJ, and today the property costs you 700,000, you only probably rent it. Back then it was rental 500. Now you can probably rent it for 1,500 or 2,000 ringgit. So your yield return in comparison to residential is much lower. But if you rented 700,000, bought a property for 700,000 back then as a commercial property, rented between 2,002 to 2,005, and today with the commercial activity there, you've got a rented up to 10,000. You can see the growth from 2,000 ringgit ground floor can all the way go up to 10,000, and for a residential property, it can't go that high. So that's the meaning of what we talk about higher yield rental returns as well. Okay, and of course, when you talk about commercial property, you also get to know long-term tenants. What kind of long-term tenants are we talking about? Let's talk about KK Mart. Let's talk about 7-Eleven. Let's talk about Speed Mart. Let's talk about McDonald's. Let's talk about KFC. If your lot is a fantastic lot, and somehow rather maybe public bank or some Maybank or somebody comes and rent the property from you, wow, you wholesale already. You minimum can get such a good rental for multiple long term. You get a tenancy up to 15, 20, 30 years probably. And that is how you see substantial long term tenants in the commercial sector. Residential properties, I don't say you can't get such long-term tenants, but it's quite impossible to get people who wants to stay there for 30 years. You probably get at max a contract 3+3. But commercial property for business sake, you can get long-term tenants that will rent from you for multiple years, up to 10s to 30s of years down the road. And you did not need to headache about a new tenant once you get such a wonderful tenant being your portfolio. Now, also commercial gives you high capital growth when the market spikes. During a pandemic like now, of course, price goes down. Okay, this one, despite whatever is happening now, definitely the price will go down. It cannot be going up all the time. So when the time is down, there are properties that is in the market for you to buy. Okay, and of course, when the market spikes back out, commercial activity goes up. You see the benefits of investing in commercial property is that your high return on investment suddenly spikes up. Okay, you will see a very nice capital growth. Example, you bought a property in Taipan, 700,000, and now it's close. If let's say the market spikes up over the past 1996, 97, that time bad period, now it's 4 million. But if you get a 3.5 million deal at this kind of market, it's still a good deal, and you still get 5 times the amount of what you have invested. So let's look at how commercial activities can really bring about your capital growth and how it can make you rich or make you have a very good passive income towards your retirement plans. Okay, and also in this commercial investments, like I mentioned, reparation works, fixing of air cons, fixing of plumbing services, all these things, reparation, you can negotiate with your tenant, and it sometimes give you less headache. I do have some commercial investors who once told me this. They said, "Hey, LT, I rather have a commercial property than a residential property. Why? Because residential, the toilet door fix, I have to fix. Toilet door spoil, I have to fix. The boom boom stop, something wrong, I have to fix. Window pecah, I have to fix. All this wear and tear supposed the tenant do, but how come asking me to do? But in commercial, okay, commercial side, normally if this kind of things is wear and tear, the tenant will take it to their own cost to repair it. Now that is one thing good about the difference between commercial and also residential investments. All right. When it comes to financing your commercial investments, now commercial is different than residential. Okay, when we talk about the margin of finance, the maximum that you can get is 85% from a commercial loan. All right, and of course, below is 80, 70, 60, so and so forth. Now, take in account if your banks are very good reputation relationship with you, you can see banks giving commercial loans up to 90%. Right, I've experienced this before myself as well. So it really depends on your records and how you deal with the bank. Like I said, since the beginning of my first episode, banks are one of the best partners in your property investments. Make the bank your good property investment partner. So look at how much they can offer you. Multiple banks give different offers. So make sure you get your bank offers from relevant banks in order to see who serves you the best offer. Now, the banks will also look at valuation. How do we look at valuation? Besides getting a valuer to come and value your property and sign a valuation report, whenever you purchase a property, it's best to look for agents and valuers or people who serve in the area, who is focused in the area to tell you what is the market value. Market value is a very big, gigantic word. Why? Because my market value and your market value may be different. You may have your own market value, I may have my own market value. Who is having the better market value? Okay, market values means when a buyer and seller meets on a price, that is a market value. When the tenant and the landlord meets on the price, that derives a new market value. So in the term of market value, doesn't mean that you spike it up, you ask, that's called asking price. When you ask very high, nobody wants to pay for it, that's not a market value. That is a value that you ask. which is nobody is buying it at the moment. So make sure you understand what is a market value and an asking value. So it is very important if you invest in commercial properties, you need to check what is the valuation and price that you're willing to pay. And also, some people buy commercial properties, premium lots, corner lots that is rented to McDonald's, corner lot is rented to a KFC. Why do people pay premium over this? Because they can see a yield return over the years coming, and they have a fantastic tenant portfolio, so they need not go and find another tenant. So that's why some of the investors pay a premium just for a fantastic tenant on a commercial property. Now, commercial properties can also use the similar factor of what I've discussed last week as in our episode. When you have get an investment that is increasing in price, all right, you can look for a refinancing package from your bank. Now, when you do a refinancing package on the capital value that has increased, you're going to cash out some money for you to live on or invest on further commercial properties. When you get a good property like something what I mentioned in Subang Jaya Taipan, you probably bought it 700,000 in the year 96, and today your property has gone up to about 3.5 million easily. The bank values it now. Let's say 3.5 million, you can cash out. If you have paid up your loans, definitely for sure you have paid up your loans, you probably can get a fantastic cash out for up to 2 million, 3 million. You can buy and invest another property. Okay, if you have such a good capital outlay, you can invest another property with cash, or probably you can invest it on a property to get 50% loan or whatsoever. So now these are the things that is the benefits, okay, of having a commercial investment. In financial part also, some of you who are doing business, you want to invest on a commercial property. Maybe you want to use one lot for your office use. The ground floor, you rent it out to 7-Eleven. The upper floor, you want to rent it out to a lawyer office. Now, you can get business facilities, business bank loans, okay, business banking to finance you to buy a shop for one of the lots for you to use and for your future investment, future expansion, sorry. And also the rest of the units, you can rent it out and get a tenant to help you pay your property investment and your property portfolio as well. So look at this. Banks can work out fantastic deals with you, such as overdraft facilities as well, in order to help you invest on the right commercial property and for you to do your fantastic business as well. And of course, years of repayment. This is, of course, up to you to choose. Some people want to pay within 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, and maximum commercial loans can go up to 25 years. Unlike residential, you can go up to 35 years, 30 to 35 years, depending on your age. But in commercial, it always look at your age and also the age of your company, and basically it gives you up to 25 years of tenure. And interest rates as well. I think now we have a fantastic low interest rate. The banks are encouraging you to buy properties, especially in the commercial sector. The bank rates now can go up as low as 3.1%. I believe some maybe offer 3 as well. I'm not so sure on that, but of course 3.1, I've seen it. So commercial interest rate has also dropped. And when you see interest rates like this drop, okay, drop like this, you can look at yield returns of up to 5%, you get a good yield already. Some people say 4% is also good, but I'm looking at 5% and above is considered a good yield today because bank loans have very low interest rates today. However, don't forget the bank will increase the interest rate over the time when the economy has recovered. So do make sure you look up when the rates are going up, you have to increase your yield as well by getting your rental returns higher. Okay, and of course, if you have the cash, you work hard, you're doing business or you're doing some self-employment. The best is when you make a good income, you pay off, you get your bonus, you pay off the property, you get cash, you pay cash. Pay cash. If LHDN comes down on your door, you make sure you are prepared. And of course, when you pay off your property, this property works for you throughout your older years and your elder years as well, and also helps your family like a passive income. Okay, commercial properties can give you a fantastic income. Let's say if you have invested in Subang Jaya Taipan those days with the 2,000 rental, now you are living, probably you're in your 40s or 50s, you probably chap billion already. Why? Because now you have more than 10,000 income a month, or 9,000, 10,000 for ground floor rental, plus the upper floors, you probably get about 12,000 ringgit of passive income every month. So without, you can just sit back at home, relax, watch TV, watch Olympics, enjoy your life, and you still get a 12,000 income every month. but it's still a time where you need to discuss with your tenants. If your tenants are facing a pandemic period, low on sales, do your part as a landlord to probably give some discount and rebates to your clients, to your tenants, in order to keep them and let them run their business towards this pandemic period. It is one of the most humane way. And of course, if you have already passed you don't need a moratorium, I think that's one of the good things that landlords have to do in order to keep their commercial tenants with them. Okay, to understand a vibrant commercial area. Now, what is a vibrant commercial area? Okay, if you do not know what is that and you have any questions to ask, remember, just pop it out at the comments. Our team will send the question out for us. I'll try my best to answer your questions as well. Now, understanding a vibrant commercial area is very important. Why? Because a lot of people think commercial, I go commercial, I go and buy shop. Anywhere shop, developer launch, I buy. No, you must have a foresight and also know how to do your research in order to get the right investments in the right commercial area. You must see what are the things that will come in the foresight in the future. If you can see that, you probably is a very good commercial specialist or commercial investor. Now, of course, if you are worried about going to new townships, you're scared whether that place will grow, then of course you can go to places that already has been matured and invest in them. Then you will probably get a lesser margin of return of investment, because you probably get 10 to 30% of gains if the market still goes up in that area. Otherwise, high risk, high return, like I mentioned. And to understand what is a vibrant commercial area, you must look at what kind of traffic they have. If you are going to a area which is fantastic traffic jam, don't be a typical human say that yeah, traffic jam, I don't want to go there. Traffic jam places means vibrant commercial, vibrant commercial activity. So when you have a traffic jam, means that place is full of people. Okay, that is good, vibrant commercial area. And of course, if you want to know whether the area is a good commercial place, you can also go and see whether prime tenants are going in, such as the banks, okay, important tenants such as McDonald's, the retailers, and so forth, convenience stores, and so on and so forth. So your question will be to me, how I know whether the new place will have this kind of issue or not, will have this kind of tenants or not. Yeah, of course, that's the foresight. You need to go there and see whether is there a township, whether is there enough population. And like the banks will only go when the population is there. All right, you must see if the banks are going in, then of course that place is going to be soon enough is extreme vibrant. And the properties, how is it designed? How is the commercial property designed? How's the frontage? If you have a square piece of land facing the main road, if you try to maximize the land to build the corner lot only facing the main road, okay, and then you try to maximize 4 rows of shops facing the main road, only got 4 rows of corner lots, it will not be a vibrant commercial activity area. You need to get the whole 1 row of shop lots facing the front, so the front you have all the anchor tenants to draw the crowd, and then the back one will also flourish in order to make, in other words, to make the whole commercial area vibrant. So it also depends on how the architect plan out the particular commercial area in order to bring the proper inflow outflow of the traffic and many of the tenants, to see whether the front ones can get a fantastic frontage tenant, okay, and then the back ones will be multiply following the front ones as well in terms to bringing in the crowd. The front one, you need it to bring the crowd. That's why you go to some commercial areas, you see why they put Giant outside, why they put Tesco outside, because they want this to draw crowd, okay. And of course, commercial areas need to have ample parking space. You must have ample parking. Of course, some places got not enough parking space, you need to wait. That is also good, vibrant commercial area. Why? Because there's a lot of traffic, ma. So that's why you want to have good commercial planning. Whenever a commercial development is built, it's always the local council to come in to tell the developer, you need to build ample enough of parking to let your clients or crowd to come in. Now, infrastructure as well is a very important factor when you invest in commercial properties. Why? Because infrastructure brings in the convenience to all the tenants and the landlords. Now, when you have infrastructure, means the proper roads, ingress, outgress, okay? These are the commercial factors that will increase your property price. If you have near to highway, Okay, if you are 5 to 10 minutes away from highways and you have near to LRT stations, like you see why Taipan USJ or SS2, all this comes out in price over the years, because SS2 a lot of public transportation as well. The LRT stations are not far away, Taipan as well. So you can see all these places increase in price. Soon enough, you can see in the line going to Sungai Buloh and Klang, you can see more and more commercial areas will also spike in price due to the infrastructures that's being laid towards all these areas that has vibrant commercial activities. And of course, when you look at commercial properties, such as you invest in retailers, okay, you have to see whether the retail outlets is it properly managed by a property manager. Some commercial properties, such as below the service apartment, is it managed by a proper property manager in that particular service apartment? This is also another question that you need to check. All right. If you go for a vibrant commercial activity area, sometimes you can see a very good property manager is there because they know how to control the tenants coming in. They know how to give good offers for tenants to come in. Okay, to give, and also the right tenant placements in, especially in a mall. When you run a mall, now compared to old times and now, last time you see the malls like Sungai Wang, they flourish. A lot of people invest. Today, Sungai Wang wasn't that. It's not that well already, because the problem with Sungai Wang is you have too much mixture of tenants everywhere, and the management is not doing much in order to bring in the tenants as well. And of course, you have the new malls like Pavilion, where you have a proper REIT as well, and also a proper mall manager. And when you have all these kind of mall managers managing the mall well, they know how to give space, okay, and also the tenant placements are all done properly in order to bring in the right crowd during the traffic flow of the people inside the mall. Now, it's very important because towards all these years, people have studied how to do mall management as well. And when you want to invest in malls, you have to be very careful, and you see who your property manager is, the mall manager is, okay, the leasing team, we call it, in order to get a correct investment in shopping malls, retail malls as well, retails as well. And when we look at vibrant commercial area, one of the most important factor that I want to share with you is the crowd pool factor. What is this crowd pool factor? You want a crowd pool landmark. Okay, whenever you go and look at an investment, a commercial investment, you want to see what kind of crowd pooler is around. Let me give you an explanation. All right, if you are buying a house, okay, you may not want the house to be next to a graveyard or a church or a mosque or a temple, okay, or a shopping mall. Why? Because you don't want too much people around your home. You want it to be quiet, okay, you want it to be more residential, homely kind of feel. But for commercial properties, if you're investing in one, if you see a mosque, it is going to be a fantastic crowd puller. Why? Because mosque is where our Muslim friends go and pray. So imagine if you have if you have a property right in front of a mosque, will you think that it's going to be easily rented out? Yes. Who will rent from you? A mamak store will come and rent from you, or a Malay cuisine or Malay food will come and rent for you, okay? Or probably the mosque, some of the Tafis and the Hajis will come and rent for you. Why? For their education center or probably a childcare center. So you must know what kind of properties derives as a crowd puller. All right. Now, I give you this example. Why? Because let me tell you, I've invested one of this property in Sentul. Okay, it's a small, low-cost commercial property. It was given by one of our agents. The property was from 290,000, 300,000 dropped until 190,000. I bought it for 190,000. Now, the owner was needing of money, that's why I bought it. This is a very cheap investment for me, but I feel that it's a fantastic investment. Why? Because I went to it, it was a low-cost commercial property. Now, this low-cost commercial property, if you go there, any investors will get put off. Why? Because it looks horrible. The property is not painted for many years. It's a low-cost apartment, high-rise. Okay, but I went to the mall. I went to the unit itself. It was rented to a mamak store. Okay, a mamak store was having for 10 years. So the owner wanted to sell it. I went and see the property. I had my Maggi goreng at the mamak store, And I went and look around as a property investor myself. I went to the site itself. I saw what was in front of the mamak store was a surau. Eventually, once I see the surau, my mind straight strike pop. This is a benefit. Why? Because surau, you pray 5 times a day. Breakfast, you already got business because people, after praying, they will come for teh tarik. Okay? Or after praying in the evening, they will come for afternoon for lunch, or in the evening for dinner. So the mama will not have any problem getting business from the surau, which is why I thought this is going to be a fantastic investment, and I don't think that I need to sell it as well. Why? Because it will give me the crowd and the business to my tenant, and eventually I myself as a landlord will benefit. So these are the investments points that you need to understand when you invest in commercial properties, which I just shared with you, one of my real life investment portfolios that I've done. All right. So what other crowd pullers you can get? Shopping malls is also one, but of course now pandemic, no shopping mall crowd puller. Okay. You can also see some of the churches, temples. What is LO and LC? Now another investment point that I give you is if you go to U5 Sungai Buloh, okay, or you go to Klang, you see, or you go to KL, you go and see where the land office is. LO means land office. If the pejabat tanah is there, okay, likelihood the pejabat tanah has a lot of public servants there. So when you have a lot of public servants, they definitely need to go to a place to eat, correct? So if you have the nearest commercial activity area there, the majority of them will go there for their food. So if let's say you have a land office, there's one of the crowd puller for you. Local council, same thing. LC, which is local council, your Majlis Perbandaran Subang Jaya, your Majlis Perbandaran Ampang, your Majlis Perbandaran Kuala Selangor, your DBKL. All these are also crowd puller because it becomes an office space, and you have many people working there. They can't be eating in the canteen every day. They have to come out and eat, which is why the commercial activity around these places will also strive, because there will be tenants coming to rent and there will be people coming to eat. Another example is you go to Shalam, you see our land office, and also the Adun's office, the Selangor Menteri Besar's office. That area, if you're nearby, you see the commercial areas. You sure have commercial activities. You sure have a hotel there. You have a Kangkap hotel. You have the offices nearby to serve the public servants and also the public offices. Therefore, the commercial activity in that area will be vibrant and will strive because of these crowd pullers. So it's important factor if you want to invest in commercial properties. You need to know how to see vibrant commercial areas. All right. All right, the next slide tells us what is book value and what is cash on hand. Now, I want to explain this to a lot of investors. If you hold an investment for long term, you gain, but you will only gain if on book value, all right? Unless you sell it or you refinance it to get the money out to invest or use it. Of course, sometimes if you sell the property, you can get cash on hand. Some of you may want to use, let's say you sell the property 4 million, you can keep 2 million, and another 2 million you can invest in another property. You can take another risk. So those are the cash on hand that you can play with. Of course, don't forget, we will grow old, we will live and partake from this world. You can't take the cash and the money to your other world. Okay, so make sure you know when to sell and also use the money for your enjoyment and adventure in your life. So make sure don't only look at the book value, tell people, oh, my property increased in this, asking price this, but cannot sell. Book value makes no difference unless you have sold it or you reinvest or you refinance it and get the cash on hand to reinvest or make the money out, able to see it on your hand so that you can use it. So my sharing to you is very important as an investor. You not only need to buy, you also need to sell sometimes in order to trade and make money. Real estate trading and real estate investments are similar to what you do in stocks, but of course, stocks are more up and down. Real estate is more stable. Okay, it is one of the safest investment if you want to go rich one day and you want to be financial freedom. Real estate is one of the most important choices in your life to make if you want to have financial freedom. All right. Okay. Finding the right professionals. Time to listen. If you got any questions to ask me, let me know please now. However, I'm going to share with you some of the tips that for you to not getting conned in the commercial side. Don't go to the market and just call and listen to one agent entirely. You want to call the specialists of the area to speak to the right agents, or don't pay your money. If you're buying a property from an owner, okay, remember this, ladies and gentlemen, if you're buying a property from the owner, try your best not to pay to the owner's bank account. Try to pay to your stakeholders account, either the agent's stakeholder client's account or your lawyer's client account. Get the paperwork right before you release the money out to the owner. One of the most important things, why you don't want an owner coming to you suddenly and say, oh, I'm not the owner, and so forth. Because if you do not know how to do your due diligence, you will get caught. Okay. Commercial properties as well, don't listen to what people tell you that this place is good, this place is good, then you buy. You need to go there and feel with your five senses and have a look at the place in order to know whether is it a vibrant commercial area for you to purchase. Don't buy just because people tell you to, right? And of course, leasehold, freehold, we always want to see which is better. Actually, both holds also are better. All right, the leasehold, if you get a good, correct area, good location area, is always good to invest as well. But freehold always has a price that spikes up much higher, because people think freehold is forever theirs. But let me tell you this: freehold or leasehold, it's the same. If the government wants to take back the land, whether is it freehold or leasehold, they still can get back the land from you. Okay, because all state land belongs to the state. All right. Any questions for anyone who wants to pop out tips for any tips you want me to give you? I can't see the screen. All right. Okay, now I can get to see the screen. The internet line here is not that bad. Okay, so what other tips that I can give you? As a business owner that operates a real estate office and also sell many commercial properties as well, I've told many investors, if you don't feel right buying this investment, okay, if you don't feel right with all the due diligence done with us, don't buy. Why? Don't buy something that you're not comfortable. Buy something that you're comfortable and you can see the foresight and the property increasing in price with the research that you have done. Right? Okay. Coming to one of the most interesting slides, where to buy or invest. I'm sure all of you will want to know what is the good location to buy commercial properties. Commercial properties in Malaysia has many strong, vibrant areas already. If you go in now, I think you probably still get some, maybe some of the owners need cash. Yes, it's a good time to buy if you get a good deal. One of the most strong commercial areas, if you talk about KL, will be, you see, Jalan Tun Razak, okay, all the Shah, Jalan Tun Abdul Rahman, Pudu, Bukit Bintang, okay, all these Rajachulan, all these places have a lot of commercial activities. But if you go to outskirts like SS2, Sea Park, Subang Jaya, Ampang Jaya, Ampang Point, Pandan Indah, Pandan Jaya, there's so many places, Sri Petaling, Hatamas, Mon Kiara, Taman Tun, Kepong, all these places, Layang, everywhere has commercial activity. And of course, once you go to new activity areas like Dengkil, Sepang, Bandar Sarjana Putra, the outer skirts, you also see new commercial activities in this kind of area. Now, your big question is, where should I invest? If you are not a large risk taker, go to places where you already see the vibrancy of a commercial activity. When you invest in these places, you will get, if you get a good price, you'll get your returns that you want, your 5-6%, and enjoy it and have a safe investment and a gradually growing, slow and gradually growing market capital gain. But if you want to invest with high risk, you want to go for exponential high return on capital growth, then you need to go and look at places where new townships are being built. Okay, you need to go new townships and you need to look at the investment point of view, whether is the price per square feet is the one within your budget and within your means of investment. Always look at investment during the beginning when the population is not there, rental is not going to go up high. Okay, it has to take time. When the population goes up, then only you invest. There's many places, every place in Malaysia is a good place to invest. Even you talk about Penang, Malacca, of course, Malacca now, the shops in town are also not doing well because of the pandemic period. You go to Johor, JB as well, you go to any other state, also we have this issue. And of course, it is Malaysia as well. But if you go to a commercial area that serves the necessity of the township in that area, then the chances of you getting a good investment there is higher. Why? Because those commercial properties in this kind of townships, they are serving the town itself, the population there, and it's easier for you to get a tenant, and during the pandemic period, their business is not so badly affected as well. Now, new projects versus secondary market. Secondary market is what I just mentioned to you. Be safe. You can see what you invest, you're happy. New project needs some skills. You need to really see. Don't try to bank on luck. If you try to recommend, people recommend you, then you bank on luck, then I wish you good luck. If you go for new projects, if you don't do your correct study, you will get your hands into really, really big trouble. For example, one of the places that people burn the most is Bukit Beruntung. Last time, many years ago, people buy commercial properties there, buy land there, all these things. Then happened, the activity wasn't growing as much as it was supposed to be promised. Then things, people got burned there as well. So you have to know where to invest. Don't listen to rumors only. You need to look at your own research as well. Now, one of the best investments during this pandemic I want to share with you now, okay, before I end, is that when you go for commercial property, if you want to buy shop lots, shop offices, you have the budget, go and do so. Those are the properties that some of the owners are also needing of cash. That's why you can invest and negotiate with the property agents, and also owners if you can get a good price and good yield to invest. If you do not have a high budget, commercial properties is also something for you to invest. If you want to look at investments like low cost shops, now low cost shops, you can buy it. Okay, you can go and look for those low cost apartments. Downstairs got a shop, or those shop apartments downstairs got a shop. Sometimes those shops can sell easily from 150,000 all the way up to a million, 1 million ringgit. Okay, and some of them already have good tenants. They probably already rented to 7-Eleven, KK Mart, or Speed Mart, or some saloon has been there for many years, or a mama store has been there for many years. So you can look at this kind of investment. Why? Because it's lower capital outlay, and it's a very safe bet. Why? Because the people that's living on the low-cost apartments and medium-cost apartments is a need in the market, because you have the lower income group of B40 group who needs places to stay. So eventually this property serves them. When this population moves there, they definitely need need a commercial activity below to buy handphone, SIM card, need to buy groceries, need to do up their hair, cut their hair, need to buy food. So these are the properties that will never lose a tenant most of the time. Okay, and these are the properties that always serves the population around, that is hardly go empty kind of property. So if you ask me, if you like to invest in commercial properties, you can start small by looking at this kind of properties in order to find the right ones and lower your risk. And once you get your minds on set, you know which to invest, you can increase your budget to go for higher. All right, and this kind of properties, the low cost shops, are one of the properties that can guarantee tell you that you don't even think about selling. Why? Because rental income is fantastic. Okay, it's fantastic. You will not need to worry about tenants most of the time. Okay, is there any questions that I can answer any one of you before I end? I think we have discussed a fantastic commercial sector today, and we have come to know how commercial investments can bring passive income for you. And if you want to ask me about any commercial questions, I'm free to answer your questions right away. And of course, for you to know, next week we are live as well. Next week we have a fantastic episode. I hope you can share this out. Also bring in your friends and people to hear what we have to share with you next week. It's going to be hiring the right realtor, how to deal with the right realtor in your property market. All right. Is there any fantastic questions that you want to ask? If you have enjoyed our talk tonight and you have learned something from commercial activity, my commercial segment talk, give me a 5, please. Please give me a 5 on the comments box. And I hope that you also make good money in your commercial properties and your commercial investments. All right. Do share me your uh, Facebooks, and also if you like me, please come and be friends with me on Facebook, and also I can help you in your commercial advisories work as well. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please register next week. Next week is going to be hiring the right realtor. How are you going to bring in the right realtor? Now, why a realtor is very important for you? Because likewise, if you're doing commercial investments, you also need a good realtor. A good realtor to help you rent out your property. Okay, a good realtor to help serve you, find a good tenant. Because without a realtor, you are unable to find a tenant for your property. So therefore, you need to know how to interview and check with the right realtor in the area that you have invested. Okay? So I can't hear. Is there any questions? All right, we have one question. Let's bring up the question to the screen. Based on the current pandemic wave, do you think there is any changes into the types of businesses of or usage of the commercial lot? Yes, if let's say, who is this? The person is asking, Marcus. All right, Marcus. Based on the current market, definitely businesses, the types of businesses will change. I mean, if you're renting out to a restaurant or renting out to a food eatery business, if the business that you're going to rent out to does not even have Grab delivery or Food Panda or Lala Move, I think you better don't rent to them, because that tenant is not going to survive during the pandemic time. So you must know how to choose the right tenant, and most of the food tenants that is doing business today will definitely have the delivery services in order to survive. Okay, and this kind of shift of movement for food businesses, F&B businesses, has also changed the entire commercial market. And of course, to give you an example of SS15 Subang Jaya, there was a time where there was a lot of bubble teas coming up there, and suddenly they all go during last year's pandemic, and then now suddenly they come back with another different type of desserts. Now, why? And of course, this time they come back with delivery services as well. People, however, now you can see the market still ordering online, and they are still delivering the goods online. And if you want to do business this way, that is the only way to survive. If you don't do business this way, you can't survive. And of course, if you see the businesses that has changed, let's look at example like what I just mentioned. Shopping malls, are they going to survive? I think the ones which is big, like the REIT companies one, the investment trust, of course, they have the stamina to wait and play around this pandemic period. But if you are those, I believe, like you're talking about Sungai Wang, there's plenty of malls like Summit, all these town malls that is sold their commercial lots out to investors. Those investors definitely will suffer, and there's no right businesses going in there. So, and of course, also if you look at commercial properties such as offices, you can see a majority glut of offices in KL. Why? Because pandemic period, everyone is encouraged to work from home. Okay, they're encouraged to work the new norm of working from home. So office spaces are going to be shrinked by majority of the tenants and all the anchor MNC tenants as well. So this is also a shift of problems to some of the so-called investors. So when you invest in this kind of properties, you have to take in account during pandemic, how are we going to survive this kind of a period? And businesses in these areas definitely, if it changes, you have to change of ideas of how to use this kind of space. In other words, in this kind of Sungai Wang shopping malls, we are also thinking as a negotiator or as an agent how to change this kind of space into more vibrant commercial space, probably for industrial, for warehousing, for stocks. We never know, but a lot of minds has been given thoughts to it, and we have not come to a conclusion how we can change these commercial properties as well. Which is why today I've shared a lot on shop offices and also low cost. Those are one of the most safest properties to invest at the moment. All right, Marcus. All right, next question, please. For commercial negotiator, maybe suffering at the moment due to no demand at the moment. Any advice for the commercial realtor here? Okay, there's a Chinese name. I can't read the Chinese name. Sorry. All right. For a commercial realtor, what is the best time? I mean, what is the best thing for you to do now at the moment during pandemic? Well, these 2 months, I can tell you that not every of our CID negotiators are also closing deal. Everyone also is suffering. But you might want to do some callings or talk to people who are your old clients, or who are people who have known you many years. There are people still buying. There are people still negotiating. Keep yourself alive. Do the activities by calling, negotiate, because there are also people who needs money to sell. If you sit back, relax, and wait, they won't call you. You need to reach out to them and ask them whether are they interested to sell or are they in need of money. People will only talk if you spark the plug, so that people can, you spark the fire, then they will speak to you. So it's a very good time, because now is a good time to talk to anyone who has plenty of time to talk to you. And being a commercial negotiator, my advice to you is get yourself ready, because a lot of properties are in the market. Okay, and I'm still believing there's a lot of people who are planning to rent the properties once pandemic is over. Once they open up, I'm sure a lot of properties are going to be rented out, because business needs to start back, and everyone needs, the demand and supply game will be back. And I'm sure all the commercial properties, some of it which also now are empty, will be rented out. You'll be surprised, now you go to Bukit Bintang, you can see signages, agent signages on the property. There are properties where which you can hardly see an agent's banner on Bukit Bintang, but today it is there. Okay, multiple units of properties are there with agents' banners, and of course, those are the properties that I believe owners also don't give way to their tenants, so the tenant cannot tahan cabut lah. So it's very important also as an agent to make sure we know how to help the owners to find the right tenant, and also as an agent during this pandemic period, give proper advices to your commercial investors. Any more questions? All right, no more questions. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, um, thank you very much for your time. I hope you come into our next episode next week. And before I end, please, ladies and gentlemen, come into our CID.my to know about CID Realtors if you want to know about us. And do me a favor, download CID Toolbox. Go to, if you're having a Play Store, sorry, it's not ready on App Store, go to Play Store, download CID Toolbox. We are there ready for you, to serve you, to help you use this toolbox in all your property needs. As a consumer yourself, you can download this app, it's free of charge, you can use it. Please review if it's good for you in order to do your calculations and all your property needs, and by using a calculator, and all the calculators are there for you. And for all of you that want, you lost your job, you want to look for a place to learn how to do real estate, we have something called CID Academy. CID Realtors is we have a CID Academy here, which we teaches all the negotiators in the market to go digital. We also help our owners to sell digitally online and do VR now. So if you want to learn more, please come into CID Academy. You can learn more. We are leading academy now to teach our agents how to go digital. And of course, as a consumer, if you plan to buy any properties from us, CID Realtors, log into cid.com.my. Okay, you can see our properties that is available: residential, commercial properties, industrial and land. We have a lot of commercial specialists in CID Realtors. So make sure you come here and look for us. Okay, find out from us who are the people that can help you in your commercial investments, that can give you a good yield and your passive income in your future. And of course, if you lost your job or you want to find an opportunity to make money and you want to become a real estate agent, feel free to come and come into CID Realtors, click the join us button, fill up the form, get in touch with us. Okay, to join us is 900 ringgit, together with the $600 course already done for you to get yourself certified as a negotiator, with the certified real estate negotiator with the board of valuers. All right, and we have all the tools and facilities to help you. It's just a one-time payment, and you can become part of the CID family as well. Okay, thank you very much. And please do me a favor, ladies and gentlemen, come into my social media. Follow me on Instagram. You can find me at Lau Tong, LOWTONG underscore at Instagram. Follow me, and you get to fine tune to know what is next for you next week. And all the while, we'll build episodes like this to help make you knowledgeable and educate you in the property market. And of course, you can also find me at Lau Tong, LOWTONG, at my Facebook page. like me and follow us. We have all the updates for you weekly on our talks as well. And don't forget to also follow us on CID Realtors page on Facebook, Instagram. Okay, we are there to help you, update you, and also serve you and educate you in the real estate market. CID Realtors with an S. All right, thank you very much. With that, we are just right on time, 9:30. I hope you will make a lot of good money in the commercial sector. And if you have any commercial questions, feel free to get in touch with me and our CID Realtors family. With that, thank you very much. And please be COVID free and stay healthy, be safe, and take care. Okay, bro.